sometimes I actually do marvel at how, like, given any amount of time, there really can be a lot of changes in life. I mean, what didn't Hillary Duff come up with a song that says, like, in a moment, everything can change? Like, that lyric is still in my head. But you know what? It does sound silly that it comes from a Hillary Duff song of all places, but it couldn't be more true and to the point. I said yesterday that it was 2 years ago that I really was at my absolute lowest emotionally. Only after 2 years later, so many great things have happened to me, happened for me, that I find it rather hard to believe I was sad to begin with. It's actually, the timing, the one problem I have is the timing is kind of awkward, if that makes sense. Because, for all intents and purposes, yeah, with July being, like, yesterday was July 30th. So therefore it was like the two best years of my life. Yet, we're still in the month of July for like another day. So I guess the timing, you know what, whatever, this is one of those instances where whatever will be, will be. And that's great. So for my low, my high, my act of kindness, I could say that, well, actually, you know what? For it being the end of July, I can tell you right now, it is raining hard outside. I mean, I woke up and I saw it was cloudy out, but I didn't really think much of it. And, you know, after I got out of the shower, I'm like, oh, we got ourselves some rain. A lot of rain. Okay. I mean, to be honest, it's been really hot lately, so a little rain every now and again isn't really such a bad thing. But for my high, I can tell you that seeing as how it has been the greatest 2 years of my life, I remember to take some time. And, you know, this is actually, this is both my high and my act of kindness together, because I could be happy that I'm in a better place now than I was 2 years ago, emotionally. And for my act of kindness, I remember to take just a little bit of time to be grateful for that. Basically, I know it sounds kind of selfish to be saying I did that to myself. I did that for myself, but you know what? Sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is to be kind to yourself. And sometimes to be kind to yourself, you need to think about all of the good things you have in life, or all the good places you've been to, or all the good people who are in your life who care. And that's what's important. You know, sometimes, every once in a while, the best, the most kind thing you can do is be kind to yourself. And I like to believe that I did that yesterday. I mean, don't get me wrong, I also, you know, held the door for some people, and I did some shopping yesterday, you know, grabbed a shopping cart, but there was somebody behind me, so I gave that shopping cart to them, and before I grabbed my own. I did that, don't get me wrong. But the important thing is, just take a little bit of time to be kind to yourself. It doesn't need to be anything grandiose. I mean, you can just tell yourself you're going to have a good day, and that really can make all the difference. Believe me, I've been doing a lot of that lately, actually. And I like to believe it has served me well. I mean, from the beginning of July to right now, a lot of really great stuff happened. In fact, once again, I decided to write it all out. So, what did I do during the month of July that made it so great? Let's see. July 1st, I went and got myself a 5-layer gelato from Rita's and tried the Rocket Pop flavored Italian ice. That was awesome. I spent more time with my parents. That happened. Let's see what else I did. Oh, right. Okay, so on July 3rd, I wasn't able to do this, but a friend of mine who was visiting from Colorado visited in town, and she celebrated her birthday. I wasn't able to go, but I did make sure that I brought some. I brought some gifts to the place where she was going to be at, so she got the birthday gifts. That was awesome. And then July 4th. I mean, look, even if what happened on July 4th didn't happen, I still would have said July 4th was a great day. But, I mean, it was America's birthday. You know, America's 249 years old right now. Yeah, next year's the big 250. That's pretty cool. Hold on. Took part in the 4th of July parade that my area of Cuca Lake has. You got a snow cone after that because there's a snow cone place there's a place to get snow cones along the parade route. That was really cool. Saw some people that day. I never really get to see that often, which is great. Saw Claudia Hoyser on 4th of July. I saw Claudia Hoyser a couple times this month. That's really cool. Actually, Claudia Hoyser's show at the Switz on 4th of July was probably the most crowded show of hers I've been to, which is insane. And the weekend just got better from there. The day after that, I went to Point of the Bluff Vineyards for their 10th anniversary celebration. I saw the Docksiders. That was really cool. I saw a show at Point of the Bluff. Also, full stop, I worked a grill for the first time. I've never actually cooked on a grill before, so I did that. As well as, I also made sure I noted any moments I went on boat rides with my family, which is always nice. I finally went to Wisner Market. I'd never been to Wisner Market here in Elmira before, which is so crazy because it's quite literally right over the bridge from where I live. I saw Superman. I saw F1. I saw Fantastic Four. I actually saw Superman twice. The second time I saw Superman with my mom and dad. Let's see. Speaking of friends earlier, I also have other friends that visited from Florida who are actually expecting. Congratulations. You know who you are. And we went to the Elbow Room for dinner to see them, and it was awesome. I actually saw a bunch of people there too. And yeah, this was just a great overall experience. Went to my very first church service that took place outdoors. Yeah, 35 years of living, never been to a Catholic Mass that took place outside, but here we are. And it was great. And there was a picnic outdoors I went to. That was awesome. Let's see what else. I went back to Foxtrot. I went to Foxtrot Vineyards earlier in June when Claudia Hoyser performed for Foxtrot celebrating the 35th anniversary. I went back again because Cousins Made Lobster was there. But also later that day, I got to see Claudia Hoyser again. Hold on. Yeah, I got to see Claudia. I'm sorry, I lost track of where it was. Then I went back to the Valley Inn, which is where my grandfather went to. That was great after I saw Claudia Hoiser on Saturday. And then yesterday, and I just told you what I did yesterday, which was I took the time to be very grateful that, this has been the best 2 years of my life, thanks to, the people in my life who care. You guys know who you are. And I said this, I know I sound like a broken record saying this, but I actually do find it kind of hard to believe that I was as sad as I was 2 years ago. I know why I was sad. I know why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And I very much remember how it rained all day that day. And, that was probably the most accurate representation of how I was feeling. Actually, not too dissimilar to outside right now, for being honest. Of course, that was 2 years ago. It's 2 years later now. And I'm feeling outstanding. There's no, as my father would say, he would say outstanding. And actually, he got that from the old Mortal Kombat game. But, listen, pretty obvious. I do like to have fun making these videos. But whenever I talk about stuff like this, while I also do have fun doing that, it also doesn't come without reverence and respect for the moment, or for the person I'm talking about, if for whatever reason I'm doing that. There always is an element of, genuine, seriousness, and honesty, and respect. Because that's just the kind of guy I am. Lord knows, when I first started making videos, I certainly didn't think I'd ever get here. To a point where I felt so incredibly low that, I didn't think I'd ever be able to genuinely smile again. Only, to be later, having been the last 2 years, I'm smiling a lot more. And it's been great. It has been. It's been the greatest 2 years of my life. It absolutely has been. And honestly, this was a great way to, yesterday, honestly, the month of July was great, but yesterday, just having taken the time to marvel on the last 2 years, that's what made it special. And it's probably coming across as if major, yeah, I'm still making these videos. It's still the background that you see behind me and all that stuff, but that's not what's important. No matter how I was feeling, I'd always be making these videos, and that's going to remain to be the case. But every once in a while, there's going to be someone who walks up to me and says they enjoy seeing what I make. It doesn't really happen that often, but when it does, that alone is worthwhile. And, come to think of it, I actually do have quite a few people to thank for, some of the things I do on camera. My transparency, my honesty, my ability to want to have fun, but also know to be serious when I have to be. Again, I never name names so as not to embarrass or offend anyone, so I can't really say who they are here, but I would hope they know who they are. Because, again, without some of those people, I don't think I'd be here right now. So, I don't really know what, again, 2 years, best 2 years of my life, there's no way I'd be able to tell you what the future's going to hold. I can't, without certainty. I mean, there are some things that are, guaranteed to happen. I mean, the month of August alone definitely has its fair share of great things coming up. I mean, tomorrow's August 1st. I plan on going to, well, actually, tomorrow I do plan on spending the day with my mom. But also, I'm probably going to see Bad Bear play at Illegal Tap House tomorrow. That's going to be fun. Wrecked Brewing Company is going to celebrate a year of being open. I plan on seeing that. I plan on going to that and checking that out for a while. What else? I'm going to be volunteering at my second golf tournament. I'm excited for that. My family from Ohio should be visiting. Although, unfortunately, that's actually one really sad part about this summer. I'm not really going to be able to, well, actually, no one in my family is going to be going on vacation for a week. So when my family from Ohio visits, probably not going to be able to do much. Which, yeah, that's kind of a bummer, but what can you do? But you know what? Seeing them at all, even if it was only for a day, is already a real treat. So I can't complain about that. Actually, after the golf tournament, I don't really know what else is happening. I mean, football will be starting up soon, but that's more closer to the end of August, early September. As well as Horseheads football too, but again, that's going to be more September. Huh. Yeah, unfortunately, even as an adult, especially living in upstate New York, when school doesn't start until September, after 4th of July, unless you go out and make your own fun, which I guess I can say I have been doing over the last month, summer's just kind of mundane. Nothing significant happens after 4th of July unless you go out and make your own fun, which, again, I can say that I have been doing that. I mean, it's probably coming across that made it look easy, but no, I swear, it really has. I mean, there has been some genuine planning ahead of time for things to happen the way they've been happening. Oh, right, almost forgot. I also got to see a surprise. That was great. Did I do anything else? Yeah, so. Oh, actually, I did take my mom to get her first watermelon feta salad from Honor Roll. That was pretty sweet. Her exact words were, "Well worth it." Damn right they were. It's watermelon. It's the watermelon feta salad from Honor Roll. That's the one thing that you need to have if you ever go, provided it's in season, of course. Honor Roll is great food. It is. Hashtag feed the 607. Although speaking of 607, that's actually one thing that's. I mean, I mentioned earlier that a lot of things can change even in a moment. One thing that's never going to change is, no matter, let's say even for the sake of argument that, I get famous doing this, and I gotta, go out of town a lot, and I'm not able to come back here as often. I'm never going to forget where I come from. Back in February, a friend of mine, who's a fantastic singer, by the way, she asked me, why do you have, day numbers, on your videos? To which I then said, well, for starters, it was sort of a play on that one SpongeBob episode, specifically the Band Geeks episode, which is already one of the greatest SpongeBob episodes ever. But the more I think about it, I don't ever want to forget where I come from. Or where people who've been following me for however many days they've been following me, they know where I come from at this point. They know where I start. I mean, I literally started doing these videos back when I lived with my parents in my own room that I had since I was like 6. Maybe, actually, you know what? My entire life I slept in that room. Because years ago, my brother and I shared a bedroom, but my brother wanted his own room, so my parents made an extension and my brother got his own room. Yeah, so, full stop. I've been in that room pretty much my entire life. Well, up until I moved here, that is, and started living on my own. I'd say a good 24 years, give or take. That was my old room. I mean, keep in mind, there was like times I went to college and stuff, obviously I wasn't in that room then. But yeah, that room was the room I started doing videos in. And I do suppose I never looked back. Well, I shouldn't say never look back. I mean, I gotta remember where I come from. But I guess when people say never look back, I mean, never look back on anything bad that happened. Focus on where you come from. Build on the good things you got from there. Make a foundation with that, and then go forward. And I like to think that's what I've done. I mean, it did take a while, for sure. And I guess something truly sad did need to happen to me 2 years ago to get to where I am now. But I'm here now. And I, at the very least, do not plan on going anywhere. I hope you like this video. If you didn't like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very humble to make this video for all you guys who are watching Joe Video. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. And I hope the month of July has been good to you. I would definitely say it's been good to me as well. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk, I'm always here to lend you, always here back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.